Boy, this Pine Lake Boat and Motor Inc. In Plainville, Michigan. This sure did come through for me. I got the extension tube, new old stock extension tube, part number 315152 that was missing on my motor. I got that for $5 from them off of eBay. And then lo and behold, after it came in, I realized that there's no way I can install it because apparently somebody's got the wrong wear plate in my water pump housing, so I had to get the correct wear plate. So according to the exploded view for my motor's model number, this is the plate that the impeller should be riding on top of, an 0315583. And this site actually has a picture of the plate, and you can see right here there's a hole in the area where that extension tube is supposed to go, and you can see it's a round hole with a flat on one side, which corresponds with the shape of the extension tube that I had just ordered and that came in. So what I've actually got though underneath my impeller right now is a plate like this one. This is a plate that belongs in like a 1972 60 horsepower, much like that top cover that was completely blocked off belongs in. So I think what happened here is, I think that whoever had this motor before me ordered a water pump kit, which would probably come with the top covers and this plate and the impeller, and they ordered the wrong kit and put the whole kit in. So they basically changed this to the wrong plate, completely ignoring the fact that the other one had a hole in it with a tube in it. The tube either was missing or they threw it away because they didn't have a hole to stick it in any longer. I don't know what somebody was thinking when they put this back together, but it's no wonder that this motor doesn't want to cool. Lo and behold, I go on eBay and look for the best deal on one of those new old stock wear plates, and who comes through again but the same company. And the funny thing was, I didn't even realize it was the same seller until I got the invoice in and looked at it. But anyway, so here's the wear plate that they had, and you can see there's a hole right there with a flat side to it, and that's going to be perfect for my tube to fit through. So I'll show you how this all is supposed to go together. First, we got to unfortunately take apart everything that I put together over here because it's got the wrong wear plate in it. And also, I did find a scrap, a 1/2 inch copper pipe. And it turns out that that is like the perfect OD. So this OD on this 1/2 inch copper pipe is identical to the OD on the copper tubes that are used to supply the cooling water and the return for the cooling water. So just wanted to show you that I'm able to use that to test and see that my hole that I've made here is going to work out just fine. So now what I've got to do is I've got to take off this cover plate, and then I've got to take off the water pump housing cover, and then I've got to remove the impeller again and remove that wear plate. Okay, so here's the plate that was on here when I originally took the motor apart, and which I now believe is the completely wrong plate. So we take this plate off, you'll see that there's no hole for an extension tube to even go through on this plate. But there is a place for an extension tube to run down into this void right here. So if we take that plate off and we grab my new plate, which appears to be identical in every way except that it has this extra hole right here. And so if I put this plate on, oops, lost my keyway here, take that out. Put that on like that. Then what's going to happen is, now I've got to get my impeller and housing back on. Alright, so now I just have one bolt in there loose to keep everything lined up while I double check my alignment here, and it sure looks like now you can see that this hole that was formerly completely blocked that I drilled out is now perfectly lined up with the hole in my new cover, wear plate. And so now I've got to get this grommet back out because that extension tube goes in under the grommet according to what it looks like in the exploded view. So now I've installed the extension tube down into the hole, and now the grommet goes back in on top of the extension tube. I'm going to tighten down the water pump housing and then put that top cover assembly back on. And here's what it looks like in what I believe to be the properly assembled configuration. So now all I really need to get this, at this point all I need to install this on the motor is my extension tubes. I had one extension tube when I originally disassembled it. The other one was already missing, which makes sense because they had this put together completely wrong. So I was going to take the one extension tube I had and see if I can't find some material to match up size-wise, but I'm having trouble locating that extension tube.